Good morning and welcome to an all-new Eye of the Tiger. I'm Brian Nuevo.
And I'm Nate Wynn.
Today is Roseville's 100th homecoming. The homecoming parade begins at 10:05 after second period and will end at 10:44. Following the parade, there will be one lunch and then third and fourth period. The day will end with the homecoming rally starting at 2 p.m. The JV game kicks off at 5 p.m. Immediately following the JV game, the homecoming king and queen will be announced, and the varsity game will begin shortly after at 7:15. The homecoming dance begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. Here's some stuff to look out for today. To match the 100th homecoming, the homecoming court will be escorted in on 100-year-old cars. Halftime festivities of the varsity game include a cheer, dance, and band performance, as well as the unveiling of the homecoming floats and fireworks.
RHS alumni and staff reminisce about their past homecoming experiences, while students consider the ones to come.
I wouldn't say I miss anything. I think each year I get to see new students come up and I just appreciate their experience and what they're going through and their excitement. It's fun to watch.
Health and safety teacher and alumnus Hank DeMello compares the homecomings of today to the ones from his day.
Dance itself is not the formal that it is today. We used to have our dances right afterwards. So we'd have the game, and then right after the game, we'd go to the dance. I think that there's a lot of traditions that have changed since when I was in school to where we are now. I like the way that a lot of the alumni are starting to come back. I think it's really, really neat what they're going to do, where they're going to have all the football alumni, all the players from past years, give them an invitation to come down on the field.
Dance coordinator, senior Kavria Schill, says this year's focus was bringing back old homecoming traditions.
Well, we're trying to tie back alumni into all of this and bringing back all the history that Roseville has had, and we're bringing in classic cars and stuff like that to try to bring back that 100 years of traditions at Roseville.
According to senior Cole Schaefer, student government put in extra effort to bring in new features this year.
We have fireworks at the game. We are going to have butterflies come out of boxes to show the homecoming winner, the court winner, and the dance is just going to be, we put a lot more money into it, so we're going to have a good time.
Wood Creek High School held the annual RJUHSD College Fair last Wednesday. Students gathered to hear information and get their questions answered by colleges from all over the country. If you want more information on post-high school education, visit Jackie Siler in the College and Career Center.
We now go to Dom Taylor and Cale Gibson for EOTSN.
Good morning and welcome to this Friday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Dominic Taylor.
And I'm Cale Gibson.
League play kicks off for varsity football with the homecoming game against Del Campo on Friday. That being said, Cale and I would like to bring you our power rankings of the top 5 teams in the CVC coming out of non-conference play. Starting off our list at number 5 is the Ponderosa Bruins. The Bruins have a 1-2 record coming out of non-conference play and an average of 23 yards per game, but let up 27 points on defense per game, which is good for 5th best in the conference.
Coming in at number 4, we have the Whitney Wildcats, who is 1-2 going into league with only scoring 82 points and giving up 92 points on defense. Although Whitney doesn't seem like a big threat based on those stats, Whitney still has 2 formidable players in Nick Eaton and Preston Eklund. Eaton is number 1 in the league for receiving yards, which is only possible because of his quarterback, Preston Eklund, who is also number 1 in passing yards. The Tigers need to keep Eklund under constant pressure, and Eaton needs to be contained.
Oakmont cracked the top 3 on our list not because of their offensive performance thus far in the season, but their stellar defense. Oakmont has only let up 14 points in 3 games, and even more impressively, of the top 5 leaders in total sacks so far this season, every single player is from Oakmont. And in somehow even more impressive fact, the number 1 sack leader from Oakmont, Antonio Kaufman, also leads the league in total tackles with an astonishing 51 total tackles in 3 games. Really just an all-around impressive defensive performance so far for Oakmont, and they definitely earned the number 3 spot.
Coming in at number 2, we have the Antelope Titans, who are 3-0 going into league and have scored 111 points on offense while only giving up 66 points on defense. Mahari Roberts is 2nd in the league for rushing yards and 3rd for total touchdowns and total points. Moses Paul is number 1 in rushing yards and total touchdowns. If the Tigers want any chance of winning this game, they need to be able to contain Roberts and be able to put pressure on Paul.
And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the 3-0 Del Campo Cougars, who not only have the leading offense in the league in regards to points per game with an average of 42, but also the second-ranked defense in regards to points allowed, only allowing an average of a touchdown per game. The Cougars' stout offense can be attributed to quarterback Tyler Dimino, who is second in the league so far with 517 yards passing, running back Greg Cabral, who's 4th in the league in rushing, and wide receiver Trevor Bruns, who is 2nd in the league in receiving. Overall, Del Campo is a potent team on every side of the ball, enough so to definitely earn them the number 1 spot on our list. In other sports news, girls tennis is 5-0 after upsetting Whitney High School tennis 6-3 on Tuesday for the first time in 4 years.
Our number 5, Maria, and me both made it to a 3rd set. So then that was super competitive. There was both teams like cheering on both the matches, and then we both ended up winning, and then our 3 doubles secured it 6-3, so that was pretty cool.
Congrats to girls tennis on the fantastic start and the upset. And that's all in your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more. I have the Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. And now we go over to entertainment.
Thanks, Dom. Seeing as American Horror Story Cult has made it past the 4-episode hump and has yet to lose its edge in the 7th season, it seems fit to finally give a full review of it. After 3 seasons of flop after flop, AHS is finally back. While audience members are still left wondering as to just how this season's theme might be cult, there is plenty more to question and marvel at. Taking cues from their earlier and best seasons, AHS does wonderfully, creating a sense of tense anxiety through not only acting and dialogue, but artful camera angles and jump shots, giving off an immense feeling of discomfort. Of course, the best part of AHS is always uncovering more and more about the storyline and characters as the plot progresses, but at 4 episodes in with no great character development beyond what we were shown in the trailers, I find it hard to keep my interest when there is no one to root for or rile against. It makes all the characters feel bland, but that isn't to say that the acting is bad. In fact, I would say that Sarah Paulson and Billy Lord make the show. Even though their characters are written shallowly, their portrayal of them is great, regardless of growth or not. So while the season is off to a slow start in terms of character evolution, the plot is going at hyperspeed and always leaves me with new questions as to how this just happened and why it did, which is ultimately the reason I keep viewing the show week after week. And now we go back to news.
Thanks, Gabby. Mark Andreatta's son surprised him in class after coming back home from the Navy last Tuesday. The two have not seen one another since January.
I was sitting at my desk punching and roll, and then he walks up next to me, and I had just texted him last night, and he was telling me about he was going to be, going out and seeing the sights today in Munich, in Germany, and so it was a total shock. I was totally fooled.
That's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger.
And remember, we're always on at eyeofthetigernews.com. Have fun at homecoming.